Most people enter the gym for numerous reasons, but the two main ones are they either want to get lean and shredded and ripped, or they want to gain muscle. In this video, I'll tell you why you can do both.
Hey Jay, how can I gain muscle and lose fat?
Gaining fat or not gaining fat. See, I don't cut these videos. I just go. I just go. I crank them out. But gaining muscle, hopefully we don't want to gain too much of that. Gaining size and getting lean and ripped are actually more related than most people would tend to believe. Most people think, okay, I gotta go into this bulking phase, right? I gotta go into this cutting phase, and yes, you do, because they both are actually completely opposite at the same time. So they're similar and different at the same time. So they're similar because the more muscle mass you have, really, the better your metabolism works, the better you absorb the foods you eat, the more calories you can eat. Really, the more muscle you have, the better you absorb those nutrients, thus the leaner you stay. Now, if you constantly are eating a ton of carbs and a ton of calories, obviously the excess is going to have to stack on somewhere, and that's adipose tissue, is fat. So we're going to look at it as, how do I gain fat and lose muscle at the same time? Now, you can't really do two of the extremes at the same time. You can't really just full-on bulk, and you can't really just full-on cut at the same time, because you need a surplus to gain muscle. Sometimes. I think the ketogenic diet works because you have a ton of protein and you have your lipids and fats, which can produce muscle, so I don't think you necessarily need the carbs to grow, but I do think it's more optimal to have those carbs to grow. So when we look at it like this, okay, so I want to gain muscle and I want to lose fat. How can I do that at the same time? You're going to have to balance the two. You're going to have to balance the caloric deficit, and you're going to have to balance the excess calories. So we may want to either do cyclical carbing, we want to do cyclical fats, we may want to do cyclical anything really, cyclical calories. So if you're maybe do a high carb day, right, and then do a low carb day, hit the high carbs on a day when you need them, hit the low carbs on a day when you don't need them, or you just don't need them quite as much. Days you're not necessarily subjecting yourself to the need of carbs, then just don't eat them. So then your body becomes more insulin sensitive to those carbohydrates, meaning you use them better and you're not going to stack it on where you don't want to put it on. So when we look at gaining muscle and losing fat, we look at, okay, we want to shock the metabolism, we want to shock the body. We don't want to do one thing for too long. We just want to keep it rolling, we want to keep it going, but also at the same time, we want to give our body enough nutrients to do both of those things. Because if you go too low at one time, that's not going to work optimally. So what I'm saying here is maybe just incorporate no carbohydrates until after the workout. Maybe just go high fat before the workout and then introduce the carbs after the workout. There's so many options, and then obviously you're going to want to burn more calories so that your input can be higher and your output is higher, so therefore you're burning more and eating more, which optimally is going to work for being leaner and harder and gaining size at the same time. So just think about it logically. Cyclical fats, cyclical carbs, cyclical calories, high days, low days, decreased cardio, added cardio. Just switch it up. Keep it going. You can do two things at one time, but you can't necessarily only just do one and get the same result. So if you want to gain muscle purely, add the calories. You're just doing one. If you just want to lose fat purely, add yourself to a decreasing caloric deficit. But if you want to keep yourself in a in a in a happy medium, do the cyclical carbs. You know, do this and do that, and just keep it going. Make sure you're getting in the right supplementation. Make sure you're training at the right rate. Make sure that you're putting in enough caloric burning to subject yourself to a higher place of eating so that you can put on more size, lose more fat, and really just do things right. So think about it, use it, apply it. AJZ1818 on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook Andreas Ziegler, teamajz.weebly.com, the website. Stay tuned.